Select stream. Boom. Boom. Okay, so I'm there. That's cool. Select stream. I don't know where my chat is though, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm just getting this stuff set up. Trying to get used to everything. I got my race engineer going into my ear. I'm going to do my LeMans race. The 700 pp grind. I'm going to do it with my Lamborghini and just kind of walk through it, show you the way I do it. If anyone's interested, if you're struggling with this one, or if you're looking for a way to make it more fun, or if you're just looking for ways to see how other people are doing things, stick around. I'm going to do this grind. I'll just talk my way through it. So some things to know is that this is a 7-lap race. It's a 30-minute timed race, but it will last 7 laps every time. So you can kind of strategize around that. I typically like to do GR4 Group 4 cars, fuel map 2. I got them pretty maxed out, and then I just go fuel map 2. So I like to race pedal down as much as I can. I don't really like to short shift, so I'd rather do the fuel map and be able to drive harder. And then if I need to dial it up, I can. Give myself some headroom. So I usually do fuel map 2. I do a 2-step strategy. I pit on 3 and 6. And there's always going to be rain in the middle. Sometimes almost none. Sometimes a downpour. I just had a once in 100-year storm just about a half hour ago when I was doing another video. So this one is just going to be easy. I can show you my settings on my car. Nothing super fancy. In fact, I should check these. That's pretty good. I don't think I need to change anything. This one's pretty much set up for LeMans, and I like the settings of it. So you can take a look here and see how it's set up. And I'm going to go ahead and pop out of there, and then we're going to go ahead and start the race. Now, like I said, typically I'll do fuel map 2 right away. I don't drive super hard. I usually within 5th or 6th on the first lap, 4th through 6th, somewhere in there, and then I usually have the lead on the second lap. The weather usually comes in by the end of lap 2, beginning of lap 3, and it's different every time. So sometimes you'll need intermediates, sometimes you need full wets. I try not to use wets ever, unless I see it's going to be a downpour for a while. I'd rather suffer on the intermediates and then use those longer once it starts drying out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this out. I'll probably use the first lap.
We'll take off a P20 out of 20.
I'll probably use the first lap here to just get kind of dialed in, and then I can start talking about my
moved up to P18, keep it up.
I'm going to kind of stay back here a little bit. I could pass these guys, but kind of want to just kind of go over more of a strategy here. You don't really need to go balls to the wall with these guys, with these cars. Sorry, I didn't want to hit him. Alright, just taking it easy, letting the tires get up the temp.
Out to P700.
You're a lot faster than these guys, so. Another Lambo. Oh, I'm going to be inside of these guys on the.
Moved up to P30.
I got enough room, just enough.
P8 is yours. Off 5 overtakes in 1 go. Nice.
Thank you. Now, I've been having problems with
You're sitting at 90% fuel.
With the GT race engineer losing connection, and that's been a real downside because it took me a long time to figure out how to get it into both my ears and my stream so that everyone else, so you guys can hear it.
You've moved up to P7.
Not driving super hard. Don't need to. My fuel map 2. So I should be able to go all the way full revs, although sometimes I'll short shift it just to save a little. Remember, every bit of gas you save in a stint, you know, before you have to pit, is less time you have to spend in the pit.
P5 is yours.
Alright. As you can see, you're not a ton faster than these guys, but we are faster. If you got these Group 4 cars sort of maxed
You're
out,
sitting at 80% fuel.
add the extra turbo, add all the parts, get it as close to 700 as you can. With most of them, you'll be able to get them all even up on sauce and still be able to do it. I was talking too much. I could have got right behind it, but I didn't want to crash. Like I said, I'm usually right about here, so it's a good spot. I'll probably take him before the start finish, and then I'll be behind the podium basically for second, third. Try to get as much draft as you can. It gives you more speed. It saves you gas. Oops, forgot what car I was in. I was thinking I was in my Ferrari. I take that a little differently. This car's set up a little more to be more straight line fast. Not as nimble. Yeah. He's right on my butt. So I'm going to try to get past this guy here.
You are currently at 70% fuel. Now holding third place.
Okay, so we got the podium on the first lap. And you can see I wasn't even driving that hard. There's a couple spots where I want to make sure I get past somebody.
8.2 seconds. Plus you're now starting lap 2.
Alright, that sounds pretty. I may have to take him, either take him up just a little or maybe take my overall PlayStation volume down a little bit. I'll have to listen to the stream when it's done too. I haven't really been able to had a chance to listen to the streams because they take so long to process. I'll catch up on these guys by the end of this straight here, probably. I'll be in first by the end of this lap for sure, probably about halfway through. I should mostly catch up to him right here, and then I might pass him at the chicane or just after. No rush.
You are currently at 60% fuel.
Yeah, we're already catching up to him here. Might have him by the next chicane. At least one of them. This little guy in the Suzuki's pretty quick. Yeah, we'll have him for sure. Not him, though. Well, maybe. I'll get him here on the end of it.
Now holding second place.
Hi, how you doing? You wanted to hit me. They like that inside line.
You're in first place, keep it up.
Thank you. Alright. He sounds pretty good. I might bring him up just a hair. Or, like I said, maybe bring my...
You are sitting at 50% fuel.
I like the percentages when he's accurate because I use those percentages when I'm figuring this out, this race out. So you want to use 1/3 of a tank, roughly, so you can get 3 laps. So I'm going to be at least at 33% at the end of this lap. pretty good pace. Now I should probably check the weather. Doesn't look like it's going to be super bad in the first part anyways. It's all, you don't see any dark blue or yellow.
Your fuel tank shows 40%.
That's pretty good. We want to be at 33 by the end of this lap, so we're right on track to do that. Oh, got a little sideways there. I use a very, very loose grip on the wheel. One of the best things that got me faster early on in this game, in playing this game, was taking the death grip off the wheel. You have to remember that this is not a real car, so you're getting all of your feedback about what the car's doing through the wheel, not through your butt. I mean, I'm getting a haptic thing soon, but even that's not going to be the same thing. They're still sending.
Congrats. You are beating your best lap. Plus, you're now starting lap 3.
Awesome. We're going to get some weather here quick, but it ain't going to be bad, so it's getting cloudy. This is our last lap on these tires and this gas. Whoopsie, got a little crazy there. But that's the reason for the loose hands. So the tighter you grip the wheel, whoops, the less you can feel what it's doing. So when you got a really tight grip on the wheel and you're jerked around, you're doing all this, you're not feeling all those subtle little movements. And I'm telling you that if you have really tight grip on the wheel as I'm turning the wheel here, I can literally feel the car sliding around, and it'll trick my brain. So the looser I have my hands on the wheel, the more my brain feels like I'm in the car, and I'm getting a way more accurate idea of what it's doing. As I'm slowing down, as I'm turning in, I can see exactly what I'm doing. I can feel it in the wheel itself. So best advice I ever got was loose hands on the wheel. As loose as you can hold on to. And you can see, when I'm driving, even when I'm coming down here, if I get into this stuff and I let it jerk my wheel around. So I can feel that stuff. If I'm holding it a death grip like this, I'm missing all that stuff. I kind of get a little bit of it, but I can't really tell what the car's doing. See, for me, racing in VR, the way to feel fast or beat, well, that's a lot of water coming. 20%. So when we go in, we're probably going to go with intermediates. I might even go wets. It depends on how quickly this stuff hits. We will see. Which way is it traveling? Let's zoom in a little. Now you can see which way it's moving. Almost dead west. Slightly like west-southwest. Yeah, it looks like basically west-southwest. So we're going to get a lot of that water. Here it comes. Now you want to watch that little water meter on the left-hand side of the tires. When that gets to the first line, if you're on racing tires,
fuel only 10% left.
You need to be very careful. You start being careful. Once it gets a little bit above that first line, you got to be really careful. It's already starting to get a little. Plus, my tires are a little bit worn. That's why a loose grip right here is nice, because you can feel when that wheel starts to get real easy to turn, and you just had to relax and counteract it.
Fuel is getting scarce, 7%. Run ahead.
You just don't want to spin. And I'm above the line, so I got to be a little. This is a spot right here. It's very easy to spin when it's wet. Be careful through there. Let's see. What do I want to go with? I
Fuel
think
is running low.
I'll
Manage
go with the
carefully.
mediums,
5%.
just so you can, or I'll go with the full wets, just so you can see how fast you can go.
Engineer disconnected.
And I got to change my guy. He keeps disconnecting every time I go in the pits. I'm going to figure out how to use this thing,
This is your engineer.
I'm going to do some
Connected and ready
research
to go.
on the race engineer and kind of find out what I can do to keep it from disconnecting. I know it's connecting via Wi-Fi to my PS5 for the telemetry data, but I don't know what would be causing it
Your
to have a
last
bad
lap clocked
connection.
at 4 minutes 36.2 seconds.
They're 4 feet
Heads
apart.
up 30 seconds flat off your personal best. Let's
Nice.
bridge the gap.
Also, you are now starting lap 4.
Nice. So it gives you some
You've
stuff.
lost 2 positions. Let's push back. Your pace is on an average
Oh.
of 1 minute 32 seconds.
So a couple guys
lap
came
for
into
lap.
pit ahead of me.
Currently P2. Your fuel tank shows 11%. You're sitting at 16% fuel.
The fuel tank shows 25% and you're sitting at 29% fuel. You're sitting at 36%.
So I'm on
fuel.
full wets,
You're
so
sitting
I'll
at
be able to drive
47%
pretty
fuel.
aggressively.
Fuel levels are maxed. Let's push.
But they are cold.
First place, excellent driving.
Even with the full wets on, we got a lot of water on the track, so. See how the wheels are kind of bouncing around? It's just I'm holding it very loosely. So every little thing that happens, that I can feel that. You don't doing this, you can't feel anything. This way, you know where the dips are. You can kind of. It just gives your brain more information. It helps you feel like you're in the car better, and you do a better job of managing. Whoopsie. Wow, this is wet. I'm glad I went with full wets, because this is big too.
90% fuel.
The way it's moving, oh, it's kind of going more, yeah, I guess more southwest. So we're going to be through it in a minute or two, probably by the end of this lap. Very slippery. Just got to be careful. Like I said, loose hands. You feel everything that's happening and feel the road. When you get over here, you feel those bumps. You see it's making the wheel jerk around. Let it jerk. Keep it going straight, obviously, but it's about as aggressive as I could be with this water the way it is right now. And like I said, we're so far out in front. But this is a good chance to practice your cornering, practice driving in wet, try different lines. Now the other thing I'm gonna probably be, now look at, I'm getting blue on there, so that means there's puddles. You gotta be really careful about that. If you hit one of those, you hit one of those puddles the wrong way, and it'll spin you right off the track. I wish I was this skinny. Scrawny little legs. I like my legs. Wow. I can feel I'm just about to lose. You want to be at the edge of grip. That was me on the edge of, whoop, spinning a little bit. That's how little it takes. Look at that. When it's this wet, even having wets on, you still have to drive carefully. The biggest problem people have in this game, because it's the biggest problem I had, trying to drive too fast, trying to do more than the car's capable of. You got to drive to the car's capabilities and yours. You can't exceed either. And when you exceed both, that's when you have accidents. We're to the end of this. It looks like there might be a tiny bit up there. I might hit, but I wouldn't even worry about it.
You're currently on lap 5.
Now the track's going to start drying out. So at some point, I'm going to start. Ooh, that was wetter than I thought. So at some point, I'm going to have to start driving in the wet line, just to kind of get my tires to stretch. I need them to go 2 more laps. Being a little cautious. Still fairly wet, but the sun's out. Uh-oh. I saved it. The track's still pretty wet, so I'm not really chewing the tires up much, but if you go over here, you see it's wetter. So you're just trying to save your tires as much as you can. Pop out of it a little bit so you're not trying to brake in the wet.
You are sitting at 60% fuel.
Alright, that's a good place to be here for this. Again, I haven't really done much to my tires yet. They're barely even showing that they've got anywhere whatsoever yet. That's a good spot to be in because the track's going to dry out. Now we might get a little more rain up there, just a tiny bit. Looks like there's another little cloud thing coming in there. Too hot. Now I shouldn't get a penalty because I'm giving myself time coming back on the track. I'm straightening it out. If you try to blow through and use the penalty to get ahead, you'll probably get a penalty. It didn't take me that much off of time. Might have added a second to my lap time. I'm ahead by over a minute, I'm sure, at this point. So it's better to lose. Too hot. It's alright, I caught it. I'm not good at talking and driving, that's why I practice doing these. So I got one more lap to go. Oh, I better get up here, save my tires a little bit. I'm going to have plenty, it looks like, because this cloud stuff will help. Well, it'll at least keep it from drying out as fast because it's overcast. So you get a little bit of wear. We got to last one more lap. I want to use up all my gas for this lap. I don't have to pit early. And this will give the track more time to dry out once it gets through this. Well, we might get even a little bit more rain. That's kind of a good thing. Because we got to go a whole another lap with these tires. Now they're starting to show a little wear. We just got to go one more lap.
Your fuel tank shows 40%.
So I'm going to use as much of this kind of stuff as I can. Also, if I don't have to corner hard, I take it easy through here. Little wear and save a little wear and tear. Get over here to the wet. Or we gotta get one more lap on these tires. They'll probably be down to about half or 40% by the time we get done with the lap. Definitely have enough gas. I'm short shifting a little bit. Not because of gas, just tires are starting to get a little bit worn, and I'm just trying to be easy on them. I'm gonna get over here in the wet. Well, once it opens up, this will help me save these a little bit. Almost half. It'll be all right. And then by the time we get around,
You're sitting at 30% fuel.
I think I can grab up to. Oops, a little fast. That was a little awkward. Move them off over here. Bring it over across here. Stay in the wet here. Don't get your tire too close to that grass, or it'll grab your car. But this is enough to keep the tires a little bit longer. Stay down in here a little bit. Cross over.
Fuel is running low. Manage carefully.
20%.
Again, I'm going to stay right over here in the wet. Just trying to save my tires as much as I can. They're about half gone, which isn't horrible, but if you're not used to driving with worn tires, half tread feels pretty slippery. Just remember, as your tires wear, you have to brake a little earlier. You have to lower your entry speed, and you have to lower your acceleration rate out of the corners. You don't have the grip that you had when you first started with these tires.
Fuel is running low. Manage carefully.
10%.
Oh, brush the wall a little bit there. Trying to get as close as possible. Don't want to hit it, but you can see my tires are just barely holding on. But we're way ahead, so there's no need to rush.
Fuel
We got
is
lots of
getting
gas.
scarce, 8%. Run ahead.
Now we're going to put on whatever the fastest tire we have on. It's either going to be medium or try to go through as fast as I can do medium.
Engineer disconnected.
Every time. So every time you go in the pits, the engineer gets deselected. I got to figure that out.
Hello, this is your engineer. I'm connected and ready to go.
Alrighty, thank you. Appreciate that. Alright, so need a drink too. Got 32 seconds. Hey, 10 seconds. Alright. Coming in here. And I'm only need 1 point. I do 1.2.
38.9 seconds.
Currently
Do 1.1.
32.6 seconds behind your
So you got
best.
enough to
Let's
do
find
get all
your
the way
speed.
around. You only
Currently
need
on
one
lap
lap.
7.
I should have been taught.
One position lost. We can recover. Your pace is on an average of 46.4 seconds per lap. You're sitting 13% fuel. You're currently at 16% fuel also. You're sitting at 18% fuel. And you're sitting at 23% fuel. You're sitting at 40% fuel.
That's what happens when you turn him on in the middle of a pit stop, but it seems like every time I pit, not every time, and almost every time I pit, he disconnects. Now I don't know if it reconnects. I've been doing it manually. Little spin there. It's easy to catch if you just I say to keep your hands loose on the wheel so you feel the car. Drive it like it's real. Always be looking at your horizon. Don't be looking right above right in front of your dash, in front of your car. You're going to be looking way down the road because that's what your brain is used to doing when you're driving. So when it's calculating, it's turning and all that, it's doing that because of the way you're usually looking in like this and looking in over here like that. See, and if you do make a mistake, you're looking the right way, it feels the right way, and your brain knows how to adjust. It's really important. Your hands are soft on the wheel, very loose, and like I said, you want to make sure that you're looking in the right spots. Drive the car like a real car, and you will be faster. Now moving all the way to the next corner already. So I can feel where I can gas up. If it starts to jump a little, I can feel it because I'm already looking out there and I know where I'm at in the corner relative to where I'm looking. So you don't have to be focusing too much on what's right in front of the windshield. That was close. On hard tires, I would have missed that corner probably.
Fuel is getting scarce, 20%.
On ahead.
This is the last lap, so but that's how easy this is. Track's still got a little bit of moisture, but this isn't enough to worry about. You can drive regularly when it's that low. Once it crosses that first line, you want to be careful. And once it's like about a quarter of the way to that next line, I wish it had a little more of a. I wish the meter was bigger or a little more precise, but I think I understand why they do it that way, because you kind of have to look at it, eyeball it. You don't want to have an exact, because you're supposed to be reacting to the actual conditions. The bar is really...
Fuel is running low. Manage carefully.
10%.
The bars are just there to give you a visual reference, and it's to help connect your brain to what it's feeling in the steering wheel. That's how you do it. So it takes about 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute race, so give or take with the weather. Sometimes I have to slow down because I'll cross and have to go all the way around again. You don't want to do that because usually if you're doing your strategy, you're not going to have enough gas to make it around. So you might have to slow down before the last chicane if it's all... Sometimes you'll get clouds but no rain, and if that's the case and you're running hard, you'll probably reach the end before it's over, before the seventh lap is over. Just slow down. There won't be anybody probably within close to you, and just let it get to zero before you cross the line. So there we go. We're going to get the clean race bonus. That gets us up to 12.2 million. All right. And all I got to do is then save this for
Today
later.
you will take off at P1 out of 20.
All right.
Your time was 4 minutes 20.2 seconds.
that
Heads up
is 30
13.9
minutes
seconds
at
behind
the
your
mall,
best lap.
and
Keep pushing.
almost
Also, you're
800,000
currently on
or
lap 8.
825,000 credits.